Hello, Aries. Mars is trine Jupiter on the 10th, and Mars is conjunct Uranus on the 11th. And that's going to start the month out with a good positive outlook, because that's the first 10, 11 days of the month, leading up to the Ides of March on the 14th. It's going to be very interesting. Now let's see how your ruling planet of Mars affects you this month, Aries. I'm Pastor Rosemary. Thank you for joining us. This is an angelic horoscope transmission from your Aries angel, Melchidael, who resides over your cardinal fire nature. And these are his messages for you in love, money, and health. First, the love transmission. This month, because Mars is in Aries currently, there's already a lot of passion and fiery energy and a lot of willfulness. And a lot of willfulness where people think perhaps, especially if they have strong Mars aspects, that they think perhaps that by using, the martial aspects or leaning Geburik, that they can force their ways on others through sheer martial will. And there is a time for that. There is a time and a place for everything. But this month, that's really going to come into more focus because of the solar eclipse. So basically, there's a lot of energy flying around. And it's going to get very frenetic, very energetic. And you want to use that in a positive way if possible. So if you're going to be talking to people regarding, friendship, romance, or family, try to keep it very clear. Try not to give people the impression, Aries, or if you have your Mars in Aries or your Sun in Aries, try not to give people the impression that you are flirting if friendship is all you're looking for. That won't go well this month. It won't help you with what you're trying to accomplish. All right? The full moon is in Virgo on the 5th. Full moon in Virgo. And that is going to make people very analytical, especially during the first week. So they're going to be analyzing what you're up to. And you don't want to be fodder for someone's analysis only to find out that, you weren't serious about something. You understand? Okay, now the full moon, the new moon is on the 20th, and that's in Pisces, and the solar eclipse, it's a total solar eclipse on the 20th in Pisces as well. And that is going to not happen again until 2026. So it's 11 years. And, until it happens again. It's going to be visible in its totality in Europe. So it's a lot of energy. Because Mars and the Sun work off of each other because they're two different forms of will. Again, the martial will versus the will that tries to bring harmony and sacrifices the self. With that said, there's still going to be a lot of play between Leo and Aries aspects. And it can be very bright and cause a lot of, a lot of artistic creativity. So, if you're feeling extra energy and people just can't really take it, Aries, when in matters of your, passion, then just simply put it into your artistic endeavors, and that'll make you feel more appreciated. For money, it's going to be volatile. When it comes to the economy, global economy, and financial aspects, a lot of volatility, a lot of uncertainty. People don't know quite what's going on because there's wars and rumors of wars. And there always has been, but it's really building now. It's really building. So, that always causes uncertainty, and uncertainty causes volatility in financial and business situations. It causes people to sort of almost freeze and try to wait and see what's going to happen. And you might have a stronger will than others, but going after them isn't really going to get them to budge. It's going to just make them freeze up more. Now, there's going to be Saturn going retrograde this month. And as it goes retrograde on the 14th of March, and the next day is the Ides of March, we have old regulations, old Saturnian regulations coming back in. So just be aware of that, because that's going to make some people feel overregulated. Because when things get volatile, sometimes, then Saturn comes in and puts a bit of a grid over it. In actuality, that's a good thing. But when it first happens, not everybody's going to like that. So that means that business, again, is going to be volatile. And working things out in a respectful way with other people and in an understanding fashion will be helpful. And because you don't want to try to break through, you don't want to try to force something that's locked down. You want to just, talk to people and ease them a little bit and make them feel at ease. But at that point, you don't want to, once you get them at ease, then begin to push the will. Because they will come back at you if they feel violated. They're going to come back at you in a possibly angry manner. And if they're able to keep their composure, they're really going to become curt with you. And it may not bother you, but just understand it's what's going to go on financially. In love issues, not so much. It's more, passionate. But in finance, it's going to be more curt. Either angry or terse is how it's going to be. Okay, health. With health this month, Aries, again, because Mars is in Aries currently, this is not a good time to get into arguments with people. Again, because, there could be incidents, there could be altercations, there could be violence, there could be arguments across the dinner table, there could even be different, forms of violence in the family and between couples, that kind of thing. Because being concerned, about the wars and rumors of wars and what, and someone else attacking, that's usually not how it happens. What actually goes on is that what causes big wars and global wars is that countries, and individuals and everybody has pity parties. And then they sort of destroy themselves. So you don't want to get involved in that. A little martial will and strength helps that, yes, of course. Because pity parties are born of melancholy and too much watery aspects, too much yin and not enough yang. So, what you want to do is be a force for productive, positive encouragement, rather than having courage and getting into these arguments with people. Rather, have courage to encourage people and to help them feel better, because making people feel badly is just going to feed the toxicity of the body, of the physical body, the body politic, and also the globe. Everything is, one. And if we hurt ourselves in one way, it's going to affect us in another way. So when one is feeling like they can only, they don't have anything left to give to other people. They don't know how to give to other people. Just remember that according to the Zohar, we are all able to receive from the self. Dig deep within yourself and find your own goodness. Stop wanting things from other people because they can't give you anything. Just understand that one should give to others when they ask, if you can, without harming yourself. And if they want to give something to you, you can receive it if it doesn't harm you. And you just got to use your instincts. Does it feel right? Okay, if it doesn't feel right, don't even bother. Go with your first instinct. We're all guilty of second guessing, but what you want to do is not second guess yourself in March. You want to go with your first instincts. And Aries is very good at that, and you'll do well. Before we get to the Afterglow, Aries, we go over some of your planetary facets and aspects. Just want to make 2 points. We said earlier in the beginning of this angelic transmission that the Ides of March occur on the 14th. It occurs on the 15th, the Ides of March. However, there is a Saturn going retrograde in Sagittarius on the 14th, which kind of makes that a very strongly, it could be difficult time, which is why we brought it up, because it could be difficult for people in power, quite frankly. So what you want to do is just understand that there's going to be some, again, a throwback to some older, more passé forms of regulations and laws due to people who are subordinates wanting to rise up and be rulers over people who used to rule them. And that, it goes along with the Ides of March. And again, Saturn, going back to more older systems of law, can sometimes help keep a damper on that or put a grid on it so it doesn't get out of hand. That's why that was brought up. Just wanted to clarify that. And also, before we move on to the Afterglow, and to just one more word about the health issues, again, with Mars in Aries, especially if your Mars is in Aries, be careful of head injuries and those kind of things. Better than saying be careful, it's better to say to be mindful. And then one is more relaxed, but more aware. And then one doesn't become hypervigilant, which can be difficult if you're hypervigilant. So rather than being very careful, be mindful. Now, for the Afterglow, Aries, for some of the planetary aspects, facets, we have the second, Moon trine Mars. We have on the 8th, Moon opposing Mars. The 10th, Mars trine Jupiter. The 11th, Mars conjunct Uranus. On the 13th, Moon trine Mars. On the 15th, Moon square Mars. On the 17th, Moon sextile Mars. On the 21st, Moon conjunct Mars. The 26th, Moon sextile Mars. On the 29th, Moon square Mars. And on the 31st, Luna is trine Mars. So that is the aspects, Mars facets for you, for your Afterglow, just to give you a little heads up, so you can know what's going to go on, including the lunar aspects, which change quite a bit. And to just clarify something and refine something, it's not so much that the moon is inconstant. It's kind of like the moon is regularly irregular. And that's okay. That's healthy. All right. Thank you for joining us, Aries. This is Pastor Rosemary, and join us again next month.